Hello and greetings. My name is Mat Saipuniza bin Zainal. The purpose of this presentation is to fulfill our research project assigned by Dr. Sophie for the subject of educational research methodology for our ongoing Master of Education in UNITA. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that this session will be recorded for reference. Let me introduce our group members, and of course it's me, Mak Saipuniza bin Zainon. The other one is Grace, anak perempuan Joseph, and lastly is Yogeshwari Arumugam. Our topic of research project is about the effect of extrinsic motivation on year 3 people attendance. So for our introduction, students that attend school regularly get the best start in life and are more equipped for the future. However, student absenteeism is increasing, which can hinder their academic development and have long-term repercussions for them in the future. But in Malaysia, Ministry of Education employ the APDM, aplikasi pengkalan data murid, and SSDM, sistem salah laku disiplin murid, the system that intends to easily and effectively record data on student disciplinary misconduct like absenteeism to school throughout Malaysia. Therefore, uh, extrinsic motivation is used to increase students' attendance to school. For the problem statement, it is confirmed that a student absent from school has an impact on their own academic performance. Then students who are presently absent suffer socially and intellectually. Then they miss out on peer socialization and growth, which has a detrimental effect on their academic performance, which can lead to low self-esteem, social isolation, and discontent, which may have been the initial cause of non-attendance. And then for research objective, firstly, to examine the effect of extrinsic motivation on student attendance. A second one, to study the relationship between extrinsic motivation and student attendance. And the third one is to indicate the significance of extrinsic motivation on student attendance to school. So for the research question, first, what are the effects of extrinsic motivation on student attendance? And then what is the relationship between extrinsic motivation and student attendance? The third one is why extrinsic motivation is important for student attendance to school. So this is the literature review. So firstly is motivation has a strong and important relationship with learning, and learning in school is always in line with good attendance. That is why motivation is viewed as a foundation and vital point in student attendance. This is from Cottage 2005. Then from the Allen and Fryer 2011, Extrinsic incentive for high school students have become increasingly popular in public school system as a means of rising student achievement. Students are not motivated to attend school if they do not regard education as having inherent value. Extrinsically inspiring people to attend school is a challenge for education authorities. To achieve, students must attend school on a daily basis. Absenteeism, a student being absent from school is very common. 2016 absenteeism. One of the problem occur in a school system that caused by various factors and pursued by negative consequence. Plus absenteeism in a term that highly refer to avoiding work or school on a daily basis without good reason. Absent may be characterized by not attending a class or following a course without a legal basis course. This is from NAWAS 2018. Even without any appropriate research conduct, most people are able to realize that school attendance is associated with the student academic performance. Mean poor attendance pattern predict poorer grades, with absence more associated with grade that studies. This is from Morrissey 2013. And then from Sheldon and Epstein 2004, the lack of research on school practice to increase student attendance and reducing absenteeism is significant because absenteeism is associated with several important indicators of academic failure and poor school adjustment. Students with excellent rate of school attendance will able to score better marks in tests as compared to those with poor attendance rate. So another literature review from Ingram 2000, a research regarding the action of providing incentive for students as a extrinsic motivation in learning also highlight the attendance incentive. To clarify, the attendance incentive were designed to boost attendance. Excessive absences and have a negative impact on kid achievement levels on motivation to stay in school. Hence, it is viewed as an important type of incentive. Then the importance of coming to school to learn with a rigid statement. Students and learners all around the world are required to attend school every day to be success. The researchers coined that the good news of this report is that being in school lead to succeeding in school. Achievement, especially in math, is very sensitive to attendance. Attendance also strongly affects standardized test score and graduation and dropout rate. This is from Balfans and Bing 2012.
Greetings, Doctor. I'm Grace and I will continue the group presentation by explaining the research methodology. Research design and type. This is a descriptive qualitative research project. In this qualitative study, data from semi-structured interviews, structured open-ended question, and observation were used as instruments. All the data presented in a non-numerical format. In order to address the research objective, a descriptive design is employed to characterize the phenomenon in a rigorous and accurate manner. As a result, our finding on the impact of extreme incentive on student attendance linked to descriptive design. The observation is entirely conducted in a classroom and school setting, which mimics the natural environment. Context and respondents. This study was carried out in a rural area school. The majority of the pupils at this school are from low-income homes and uneducated. Two pupils from year 3 are the sample of the research. The parents of the two samples, year 3 class teacher and school counselor, participated in this research. The student-centered approach that was used in this research. Data collection procedures. The qualitative data for this research was collected mainly through semi-structured interviews, structured open-ended question, and observation. The initial stage was to gather Year 3 students' attendance data from the APDM portal for the previous 4 weeks. After that, a teacher from Year 3 class had been interviewed to get information regarding the pupils' attendance. Following that, a rewarding intervention was put into practice for 4 weeks. Involvement of the students' attitudes was also recorded on the provided observation form. At the week of 3, the both students were given a responsibility to help the teacher. A second interview with the class teacher had been conducted in the 5th week after the intervention. The school counselor was then asked to answer the given for structured open-ended questions. Then, interviews with parents and students were done separately. Now, I'm going to explain about data analysis. Data were collected qualitatively and analyzed using descriptive design. Semi-structured interviews from teacher, students and parents were transcribed after recording it. Then, the transcriptions and the structured open-ended questions were answered by the counselor were analyzed narratively and holistically through 6 steps of thematic descriptive approach: familiarization, coding, generating themes, reviewing themes, defining and naming themes, and finally writing up. The essential word from the transcript and open-ended questions were highlighted and 2 major themes were identified. Then, the write-up was started once the themes were named.
Good evening, Doctor. I'm Yogeshwari Arambugam. I'm going to present about the findings that we got from our data analysis. We compared the average attendance of students for 4 weeks before and after the extrinsic motivation as shown in the screen. The average percentage of attendance of the 2 students before the extrinsic motivation was only 50%, which is highlighted in the table 1. However, the percentage increased to 85% after the students motivated by rewarding as highlighted in Table 2. By using the thematic descriptive approach, we identified two teams to answer our three research questions. Research question 1 and 2 answered by Team 1, which is sound extrinsic motivation increases students' interest to attend to school. However, research question 3 answered by Team number 2, realization on importance of extrinsic motivation among parents, teachers and counselor in rising up students' attendance. As a result, we answered our research question 1 and 2 through Team 1 that we identified. Extrinsic motivation increases students' interest to attend to school. This is confirmed by the interview that we done with Year 3 class teacher, our two samples and their parents after the extrinsic motivation. Year 3 class teacher, Mrs. Shanmugavadivu, mentioned that students were really happy and cheerful to attend to school since the reward system was on. Students also portrayed positive reactions upon the rewarding and there are so many changes in their behavior. However, student 1, Havanesh, expressed the excitement and agreement upon the interventions program involving rewards. Kiran, the student 2, explained the feeling of gaining interest to attend to school after the rewarding system. Parent 1 and 2 claimed that they observed the positive behavior of their children after the extrinsic motivation and the children felt very motivated to attend to school every morning. Team 2, realization of the importance of extrinsic motivation among parents, teachers and school counselor, answered our research question 3, where Year 3 class teacher Mrs. Shanmugavadivu said that rewarding intervention, motivating the students intrinsically and changing their attitudes to be more responsible. According to school counselor, rewarding intervention that used as an extrinsic motivation lead to a positive learning environment in school and motivate the students to be more productive. The board parents revealed that extrinsic motivation is important in overcoming the students' learning problems. They said that extrinsic motivation guide their children to do well in their studies. We found two limitations in conducting our research. First, in the interview section, the two students and a parent were answered the question using their mother tongue. To solve this problem, we used our school working colleague to translate the answers in English and do re-recording. Secondly, time constraints. 4 weeks are not the brief amount of time to gather in-depth data and reliable outcome on identified problem. Our recommendation is teacher and school administrators should praise the students who have absenteeism problem in the school assembly or teacher-parent annual meeting, which is influence them subconsciously and change their behavior. Besides that, Ministry of Education should advertise about the APDM, Aplikasi Pangkalan Data Murid, and SSDM, Sistem Salah Laku Disiplin Murid, to bring awareness about attendance to school among students and parents. As a conclusion, stickers and rewards offered in this study appeared to have a significant and positive effect on the students' attendance. It resulted that the effect of extrinsic motivation increases the students' attendance to school. Good attendance must become a daily occurrence which develops people's behavior and improves their academic performance. Thank you.